Hello everybody and welcome to the next video. So right now we currently only have the main ribbon bounce system. We have the linear regression line, and that's the only two indicators added. Let me turn this off. Now, because I know some people have other things they prefer, we're going to kind of go over some of those right now, just so you know what's available that's going to come in the pack. All right. Now, what's in front of you right now, you are not able to change the settings of these. These are permanent. Now, when it comes to some of these other ones we're about to go over, we have a buy and sell signal percentage, which is going to be right here. As you can see, you, you can kind of change that only, okay? And that's the number of candles. So if you're familiar with that kind of stuff, you're about to see here, we'll add it. We don't need to do DLL. And it's basically going to give you a percentage right here for up or down. That's constantly changing. So if you're familiar with this kind of setup and being able to control how many candles it's looking over, you can use this to help determine on a trade. But one of the things I wanted in regards to this is most of the time we don't have the option to change the value on a system like this. So I made sure you guys had one that you can control. I can leave it there for now. And it's a basic simple indicator, so it shouldn't mess with anything else. We have auto symbols. If you're not familiar with that, currently mine is set to show every single symbol, so it's not going to look pretty. But if you're familiar with that kind of stuff, it's basically going to take it's for regular markets only. You cannot use it for OTC. But for regular market, let's say you have 20 of these only being shown, okay, on the system. Instead of always having to come up here and change every pair, it'll be right here and you just click it. This way you can move fast through the different pairs looking for a particular trade. Let's say you're just looking for the do bouncing like this. Instead of waiting for the next one, you can simply click through and choose a pair to get it and find you a good spot that you think would be working for you. All right, we have the volume. All right, and you can go ahead and you can change the options on that for what you want to best match your strategy. And then you could always change colors. Uh, for some of you, you may not know how to change colors or anything, so it's simple. This is the width. You can click here, double click, and you can choose a color. Okay. If you want to change the width, and change it like this. I like mine to be big, so we'll go ahead. Boom. Now, sometimes it doesn't take the first time, and if you're like highlighted on, you always want to click off of it. Okay. Now, some of you may not be familiar with this setup that I have here. All right, and you can use this. Now, this is an overall, okay, of a certain amount of candles and all the other settings that were available. So you can kind of pick how you want this to be. All right, and it's going to pop up for every single candle. So, and these will be running here. We'll move close here. See? So it's changing. So you can get an idea of what the next candle may do. Now remember, treat this more like a footprint chart where it's giving you an overall of what the market is doing. So if you see something's going on, so there we go. Let's go ahead and move it. Now we'll do it. We'll just like it followed up, okay? So even though you have an 80%, 20% down here, but obviously if you had some other information, you could know that this probably is just going to be a reversal area. So you wouldn't really want to take a trade just yet unless you were looking to, you had a bounce, you had 85%, 35. You see, so then the next one comes down, and that's what a lot of the bouncing is for some certain things. Now, I know this may not make sense and completely contradict what you're thinking sometime or right now of what I'm describing. Um, but if we zoom out, you see how right here we have the higher high for that, came all the way down, and then went up, it bounced, got rejected, and then got rejected again. So we went down and created a new lower high or a new low. Okay. So this was the higher high, lower high, new or higher low or lower high, however you wanted to call it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and zoom in. Uh, there we go. So you can use this to help make determinations of you taking trades and stuff. If you're familiar with how footprint charts work, okay. If you're not familiar with it, then this indicator probably won't be for you because you're going to be looking for, oh, look, it got 80% or 86%, so the next candle is probably going to go up as well. Now it did on this, but it's, as you could see, look, you had 80% here, and then the next candle went down. So unless you're familiar with catching trends and how footprint charts work, this is like a percentage to kind of, it separates a lot of the excess information that's on a footprint chart. And this gives us the main value between who was in control at that time. Okay. Hope that one helped on understanding. Now we're going to go ahead and get rid of this indicator real quick. But again, this is for more advanced traders. If you're a beginner, I don't recommend you use this one at all. Okay. I'd like to, I can show you the symbol one, but it's just going to clutter this whole thing up with all the different pairs, and I'm not going to go through and remove them all, just so I can make it look pretty for you. But if you're familiar with it, or you can put it on your screen, and you'll probably get a better idea clicking on the things of how it works best. Okay, we have the full bands now. Excuse me. Go to inputs. You can change stuff here as well to suit your purposes. And then same with colors of the bands and stuff like that. And we're going to go ahead and add them. We're going to zoom out. So you can use the bands with the ribbon bounce. Okay. This kind of give you a good idea what's going on. So a lot of times what you can do is once it comes up into these areas, you can be looking to take a trade for like 5 minutes, or if you're going to be doing long trading, once it crosses over the bands and the linear regression, you're probably safe a lot of times to go ahead and take a trade and ride it down. So if you're looking to take a 5-minute trade, bam, got it. Came back out, it's crossed that back out, it's crossed over the linear regression, and take a 5-minute going down. Now it's possible this could have bounced, but because of the bands, it narrows these down more. So in this situation, it went, so mine's set for the extreme, my bands. This is set for low extreme, medium extreme, and very high extreme. Oh, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. All right, so the green is the very extreme, red is the medium extreme, Yeah, I probably should change those colors to make it easier for people. And white is the small extreme. All right. But again, still coming down. Boom, but so like in situations like this where it came down, bounced off the ribbon, it'd be kind of obvious that you're going to be looking to take a trade going up. And if you're doing long trading, that's what you do. So this really breaks down the system. So for you to do long trading. Now here's some of the good things when it comes down like this and then crosses. So if you did get in here, you probably would have lost, but then bam, it finally decided to come up and you got it. And you can capitalize on this with 1 minute, 5 minute, or 10 minute trades. Okay. So in situations like this, unless you're looking to take a 1 minute trade, it's a little bit more riskier. All right, but the bands are pretty good for you to be able comes in, crosses the linear regression line. Okay, so it's a good way to be able to capture some good trades. Uh, and these lines are set at my preferences currently. Everything's currently set at my preference. So if I made it available to you with settings, it's only because I know you may have your particular preferences, and I wanted you to be able to keep those preferences that work best for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get off this one and get rid of it so the chart looks a little cleaner. All right. Now we got full and linear. Now market info only works. And so I wanted you to be able to change colors and stuff and then sometimes if you're using different backgrounds and all that, the colors don't always come in that great. So I want you to be able to change the colors. And again, market info only works on regular markets. And we'll go ahead and we'll pull a regular chart up just so you can see it. And we'll change it up to template. And let's do gold and turquoise. And now we'll go ahead and put market info. There you go. So you got the basic stuff, current price, day high, low price. So if you're into long trading, this would be a great information for you to know. And so this way, or even if you're doing binary options or not, or binary options on regular markets, you can expect a reversal at these points uh, and make some money. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close that. We'll get rid of the market info. Okay, relative volatility. You're able to change the colors on the input section. And you basically leave that alone. You could, if anything, you could use it to change the width of things. We'll go ahead and put OK. So it's kind of messing up a little right there, but let's see if we zoom out. All right, it's just giving us the current right there. I'm not a too big of a fan of this. Let's see if we go into settings and make that a little better. And again, this is one of the reasons why I'm not 100% fan of MetaTrader 4 because it does do stuff like this. And that's one of the reasons why I like NinjaTrader so much better because you don't run into this kind of stuff that often. All right. Redo it. I don't know what. There we go. Now I made it big. So we'll go ahead and close that. There. So this can help you make determinations if you're familiar when the present power comes out. Like right here, power's getting low and stuff. And then once it crossed over, boom, you had that one. And again, it's not a perfect system, but again, I made it so you can change the settings to fit your purpose of how you want to see things. All right. But a lot of people like this type of indicator, so I made sure people would be able to have it. All right. I'll go ahead and remove that. So we got that one out of the way. We got the scalping ribbons. Now, I just in my system, these are the names, but I'll give them to you most likely with different names. Like this one will be called the ribbon bounce, you know. Scalping candles, they're just like Hakanashi candles. They're Hakanashi regular Hakanashi candles that you would see on MetaTrader 4. And we'll go ahead and add those just so you can see them. Made it sure so you could change the color and the width of them. All right, there you go. So if you're a Hakanashi kind of person, you got some Hakanashi candles. All right, so if you're going to be taking long trades, bam, oh, we got our bounce, boom, 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, win. You come down, but it didn't really touch right here, so you probably want to stay away from that. But now we got our white going on, so boom. So you may find the Hakanashi candles a little bit easier for you to work with the ribbon bounce. Okay. And then just so you can see for yourself on the candle wise, if you want to change the colors or we'll go ahead. Let's see. These are going to be the wicks. We'll make the wicks a little bit bigger. And then we'll make the candles a 4. There we go. Close. Oh, and that's, again, we're going to have to, it's one of the things with MetaTrader 4 that you constantly have to do. You can go in, change the settings, and it doesn't work the first time. See, now it's a little bit easier. And then if you're a color changing person, let's see, inputs, colors. We'll leave red alone and we'll go for green. And we'll just go ahead and, like most people, if they're not using a lot of standards or yellowish color. And we have to go in and change it again. See? Close. So now if you got that set for yourself, and it'll be a lot easier for you to recognize more smoothiness between the candles when it comes to the ribbon balance and everything else you're doing. All right, so we're going to go ahead now and get rid of that. I'm just making sure that you know every indicator that's going to come to you and what has options for you. So delete that. Okay, close. And then because we've removed it, we actually have to come back here and redo the candles. I'm too lazy. I'll just do a template reset. There we go. Add linear regression. There we go. All right, so we took the candles. We've gone over signals already, slow and fast. I'm pretty sure I went over that, but just on the safe side. And you can go in, you can change the periods on these as well. Uh, Slow and fast is more for what a lot of the people are doing for like working off the 9 line or 9 moving average, 10 moving average, 100 moving average, 200, as you can see, 50. So you can work more closely with any kind of strategy you've been using in regards to these type of moving averages. I didn't want to leave you hanging with, well, I have to wait so long for a trade because it didn't come all the way down to the ribbon. So if you're more advanced and working in smaller periods, I made sure you had it. Go ahead and add it. So there you go. And we'll go ahead and remove the linear regression line just so you can see where they are on yourself. No, cancel, sorry. Delete. Okay, so there you go. All right. So you'll have this line, and that line. And you can make them which ones you want or not. And it's just an easier way instead of having to add the basic, which comes with all MetaTrader 4s, is a moving average. So instead of having to add 3 moving averages, you have mine, which automatically gives you 3 to set with. Okay. So I'm going to move that. Delete. And I'm going to put my linear regression candle. I can't tell you how much I love the linear regression line. 'Cause it allows me to capitalize on 1-minute trades, 5-minute trades, much easier. Maybe down here. There we go. And you don't have to allow DLLs either. Okay. So we got that signal slow and fast. Super trend. Super trend's pretty nice. I like it, and it's currently set with my settings. But you can change them. Same with the colors and stuff. And what I like using this one for, I don't like using it. This gives you a good idea of what's kind of going on with the market. So this can help you get some trading in. But one of the things that it really works good with is the full bands. Okay. And what you're looking for in this system is when this comes outside, the candles come outside into the bands, plus this, and then the candles cross back over. I'm always looking to take a 1-minute to 5-minute trade within that area. So like right here, bam, came out. This came out into the bands. And then finally here, the candles crossed. So I'd be looking to take a 5-minute trade. If you did a 1-minute, you would have lost. But you still could have capitalized once you realized what was going on with the linear regression. So we wait again. It comes back out. We get a candle that crossed and closed. So if you're looking to take a 1-minute trade, you would have won. If you did a 5-minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would have been a winner as well. All right, so now we wait for it to cross back out again. It went into the lines along with the candles. We finally had a candle cross the line. All right, so get a trade in for 1 minute. You would have won 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have won. All right, so just looking, and that's where if you're using the regular market, because these trades are much farther apart. So if you're using regular market, you could have the auto candle indicator, okay, or sorry, the auto symbol up here, so you can change between all the different pairs real quick to look for these spotted areas, or you see that you're coming into it, this is probably going to happen. Makes it easier for you to get those trades in quicker. You know, like right here, it crossed down, it closed. Let's say you took a trade you would have lost, but then it crossed back down, you'd be looking to take another trade for it. Right here, crossed. So 1 minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That still would have been a winner. Crossed. If you did 1 minute, you would have won. Let's see about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would have been lost. But the moment it came back and crossed again, boom. 1 minute, you would have won. 5-minute, you would have won. So it's a nice little tool to use. So even if you didn't want to use the ribbon bounce, just using the full bands, excuse me, and the Super Trend Savage. I'll probably give it a different name for you. At least you'll have a good strategy you can use. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of some indicators. Full bands, delete, super trends out, close, okay. So that takes care of its support and resistance. Most of you are familiar with that, if not. Uh, and let's see here. Now this indicator actually is not my indicator. Okay, you can get this online from just about anywhere for free. And you can go in and mess with things a little. It's your choice, all right? We'll go ahead and bounce over to the side. And then, oh, let me go back to it. Okay, so we do have to allow DLL import. Okay, so you got your 5-minute support line. So the on the 5-minute chart, this was created because it was touched a few times. So 1 minute. Okay, we'll zoom out a little. 5-minute, 1 minute. And if you're in different time frames, you'll see it for like half hour, 15 minutes. It really varies on the times of what it's working off of, but this can help you make a trade too. Like if you know you're down to 5, it bounced here, it's going up. So you can look for a trade going up. Oh, it bounced again here at this one, because these are proven areas already. So you can go for your 1 minute down or 5-minute down if you want it, depending on what's going on. Because right now it's trading in between these two areas. Alright, so for those of you who are just used to having support lines and not knowing if it's a 5-minute, 1 minute, 15-minute, half hour, basically it's time frame for each of these day. So it just depends on what time frame you're in for which ones you're going to get. Right now we're on 1 minute, so it's mostly focused on 5 minutes, 1 minutes, and there's probably going to be a couple for 15 minutes here. No, it looks like it's focusing only on that section. So if you go into a 5-minute, this will go in like you'll see 1, 5, half hour, 15 minutes. It's all right. So go ahead and delete that one off of here. Now I know most people are used to a support and resistant boxes, which is a nice touch, but I found a lot of times they can slow the system down. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go to this one. All right, and you can change the options on that. This is more my style versus the other one that was up here. We're going to go ahead and zoom in on it. All right, now these are at my settings. So for me, I can kind of read this better with things. So when I got all this here above this yellow line, and I see we kind of consolidating here. Okay. Now I might have put in a trade in here for 1 minute or 5 minutes and I would have lost. But then as you can see, it came down finally because there's not much movement right there. And then it started going up and it crossed the linear regression line. I could take a trade going for 1 minute or 5 minutes up. Now, if you're just looking for the bounce, okay, we don't go against the market. So right now we would ignore anything here. Right in here is where we could start to look for like a 1 minute trade or 5-minute trade. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, let me turn this off. Now, as you can see, linear regression. So it really just depends on how you plan on trading and your different strategies. Okay, so for like me, if you're not going to go against the grain of things, right here is a good area to get in to be taking a 5-minute trade. And here, everything's crossing. Now this is kind of iffy because we have nothing going on really here. The white line hasn't really crossed, but we see there was a lot of green before it. So we have a good idea right in here that we can probably take a 1 to 5-minute trade somewhere. Okay, same with going down. You had all this red. You finally got this, it crossed over, so we were probably safe to take a 5-minute trade going down or find yourself a 1-minute trade. But I like this one a lot better than the other one. This one works a lot better for me. I believe that is the end. Yep, that is the end of all the indicators that you will receive in my package to you in regards to the ribbon bounce. strategy. All right. If you have any questions in regards to it, let me know. And remember, only two, one, no, one, two. Yeah, only two are going to work on anything you put it on. But the rest of them, I lock them to your MetaTrader 4 account. So you'll have to provide me with your MetaTrader 4 account number that's in the top left. And then I can put a package together for you that will work on your MetaTrader 4. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for watching.